What is going on, Rhymestyle, and today I'm here with Thundershot.
What's up, guys?
And I wanted to make this video because I saw a lot of people talking about this for the past couple weeks, and I kind of wanted to address it because I feel like it's very, very important. And I also wanted to basically get your opinion, to those watching it, on what you guys think about this issue based on what I and Thundershot as well say, because we're both going to drop our opinions about this. So for the past couple weeks, actually a couple months, I've been seeing a lot of people post comments saying, if Dragon Ball Xenoverse does not have 1 billion characters, I will not buy it. And I honestly don't think a huge character roster is important, and there's many reasons why. First reason why, and the way this video is going to work is I'll tell you my opinion, and then I'll give Thundershot a couple seconds or a couple minutes to basically say his opinion as well. But let me jump in first so I can give you my reasoning behind doing this video and the reason why I wanted to bring this up in the first place. So, the main reason why I don't think a huge character roster is a big deal is because, think about it, Dragon Ball Xenoverse is going to give us all the important characters. How many of you guys care about playing as, like, Frieza Soldier number 1, or number 2, or number 3, or even freaking Kui or Guldo? Nobody plays those characters. Now, we'll get those characters in the game. But what I'm trying to say is when Battle Z came out, a lot of people complained the fact that there were only 70 characters in the game, and they were mad that, you know, characters like, characters that were available in Tenkaichi 3 weren't in that game. But it's always like, who really played with those characters? Think about it. With me, in Dragon Ball Z games, I played literally with the same characters ever since the first game I ever played with Budokai 1 back when I was in 6th grade. It's always Goku, Vegeta, Cell, Frieza, you know, the same sets of characters. And, you know, just because they're adding thousands of characters every single game, well, not really, but you get what I'm saying. Just because they add huge rosters every single time, does that mean I would necessarily play those characters? So it's like, how important are those non-important characters in the game? Like, why is that your deciding factor about wanting to get, you know, Dragon Ball Xenoverse? Like, just because they choose not to have like a Raleigh or some random character that has nothing to do with Dragon Ball Z, why is that the big deciding factor for you guys to want this game or not? And the other thing I really want to point out was, to be honest, even if there's 1,000 characters in this game, I'm literally probably 90% of the time going to play as my own character, because there's something that we never had in Dragon Ball Z games, and being able to play a Super Saiyan Rhymestyle is just, it's been a dream for the longest. And when I was even playing the beta, I didn't even take time out to play as the other 10 characters available in the beta. I only played as myself because I wanted to play as myself. My character was awesome. It was more fun to play as myself. And that's kind of what I wanted to point out. Like, so just kind of summarize, most of the time, I plan on only playing as myself. And part 2 was, I really don't care about those secondary characters. As long as the major characters are in the game, that's all I need. So that's kind of like my argument. So what do you guys think about that? And specifically, Thundershot, what do you think about that? Because obviously you're in the video and I want to get your opinion here as well. But how do you feel about the importance of having a huge character roster in Dragon Ball Xenoverse?
I personally don't think that how big the roster, obviously it can be too small, that's a thing, but I personally don't think that having the roster size, that should not be your deciding factor in the game. Battle of Z could have had literally 1 billion fucking characters, and it's still a shit game. Like, there's no coming back from that one. However, and I will be the first person to say Frieza Soldier was the stupidest character I've ever seen in my life. I hate Frieza Soldier. But having a character roster does help. I think it helps a little bit more because there are people out there, obviously not you, but there are people out there who really honestly do prefer sometimes to just go and play and have that battle. Maybe they want to be Vegeta and they want to fight Kui, or maybe they want to see who would win between Guldo and Chaozu, or all those little random off-the-wall characters. Plus, I think a lot of people are concerned with character count because this is the first game since Budokai Tenkaichi 3, I think, where we're actually getting Dragon Ball characters, maybe, Dragon Ball Z characters, and at least some GT characters are confirmed. Now, I think people are concerned with, are we only going to get Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is obviously first day DLC stuff, or not DLC, first day pre-order bonus stuff now, so that makes GT super iffy. I mean, you know, people want GT characters like Baby and things like that. But really, kind of like as an overlook, so yeah, there are those weird people, not weird people, people who like to do their fights between low-level characters. They want to see Raditz fight Nappa and things like that. There are people who like to say more unimportant characters in the series battle each other, even if they are low power level. But aside from that, just kind of something for me personally, I just ended a series on my channel called Dragon Ball Z Fights, and I took characters that were similar level, such like Raditz and Nappa and things like that, and I made them fight. And I made them fight over a computer battle, and I commentated over it, see who the winner was. It was all in good fun. But a big part of that was even lower level or off-the-wall characters being able to fight each other. And the bigger the roster works, the better that is for me in the fight series, kind of, because I do want to pick it back up with Xenoverse if they have CPU versus CPU. Anyway, the whole point of the fight series is that I could have made the fight series last a lot longer had I actually had more characters to work with. Had Raging Blast 2 had as many characters as Budokai Tenkaichi 3, so on and so forth. That would have helped me out. But I think ultimately, I can honestly say that the size of the character roster at the end of the day could potentially not matter at all. And I think this is something you can agree with me with. They could leave out a bunch of characters if they make it, if the create a character system is good enough for us to make the characters ourselves. I think that's the end-all be-all for me or anyone who's hung up on this character number thing, this whole character number selection. If they make customizing characters so in-depth and so awesome like it needs to be, like we want it to be at least, that we can make characters like if they leave King Vegeta out, we can make King Vegeta. If they leave whoever out, we can make whoever, you know what I mean? I think that is what would make the whole roster size not even matter at all, really. What do you think?
I actually thought about that earlier when I was driving home. Because I was trying to think, is like, if your favorite character, if for some reason your favorite character is like King Vegeta or somebody that no one really likes, you could just create them. Because from what I saw is they're literally including every single piece of item or clothing or weapons, well not weapons, but specifically just clothing and stuff that's ever existed in Dragon Ball universe. So you could technically recreate your character. So
what I'm excited for, we're kind of getting off topic. I'm kind of getting off topic, but looking at the character creation stuff, I want to do stuff that like should have never happened in Dragon Ball Z. I want to see what a Super Saiyan Krillin looks like. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
like even
yeah.
my character in the beta looked a lot like Yamcha. He could go Super Saiyan. He was a Saiyan. Or like what would like 17, Android 17 look like as a Super Saiyan, so on and so forth. I mean, you get the idea. But that's just
actually,
something.
And you point that out is actually very important because this goes back to why Dragon Ball Xenoverse's character roster does not matter, because things like that you can literally create your character or a character how you want it. So just because if this game doesn't end up coming out and having like 50 characters, like would that be a big of a deal? Not really. I guess you can technically just recreate them. Which again, I honestly feel like this game is going to have everybody, just because the fact that they're including pretty much every item, every attack, every character element, and I feel like just because they're going to include those elements, they'll have the characters as well. But just in case this game ends up not having a huge roster, it doesn't really matter, because one, although your case was very good, talking about how you want to test low-level characters with each other. That's a good case. But for the most part, I feel like it wouldn't matter if the character roster is small, because you can just create them. And on top of that, I really don't think you'll use those characters.
Yeah, okay. So my final verdict on it is going to be first of all, as seen by Battle of Z, character roster does not make or break a game, hands down. That is totally not the case. Because, like I said before, if Battle of Z could have had 1 billion characters, it wouldn't have been a good game still. And if the character creation is good enough, at the end of the day, it will not matter how many characters we have, how large the roster is, because we'll be able to make them ourselves.
Yeah, good point. Actually, I will point out one thing. The only reason why I got Battle of Z is because Beerus and Super Saiyan God Goku were in that game. That's the only reason why. Matter of fact, I literally used only 3 characters in that game the entire time I had it. Super Saiyan God Goku, Beerus, and I think like Broly or somebody. That's the only people I ever use in a game.
Yeah, my supports were always 18 and Adolescent Gohan or something like that.
Yeah, so yeah. So now that we kind of brought that up, what do you, the viewers, awesome viewers, think about that? Like, are characters really that important to you, and why? So Thundershot obviously gave me a case to why he thinks, or why having a lot of characters is important, because with his case, he had like a series he was doing. But what about the rest of you guys? What is the reason why you guys want 1,000 characters in this game versus, if we were to get 60, which again, we're not going to get 60. We're not going to get 60. Don't think I'm making this video because I know something. I don't know anything. I'm just saying that, just in case it happens, in case we get like 60, why would that upset you guys?
How many of you would get the game if we had 120 characters versus having 65 characters?
Yeah.
I want to find out that split. If there's 65, you're like, no, but if there's 120, you're like, yes, despite gameplay or anything else we could know right now.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, and we'll just, we'll take it from there. And then do you have anything else to say before we split?
No, I think I got everything out.
Oh, actually, I have something I want to bring up. Fusion, because that's not a lot of people bring up Fusion. Is Fusion important? Well, but first of all, I don't even know how Fusion is going to work in this game, number one.
I will say right now, I do not think we'll be able to fuse customizable characters. I think that gets way too in-depth and crazy.
Yeah, that I know is not going to happen. There's no way we'll be able to fuse our characters. I mean, think about it. You can't, like, if me and Thundershot are playing and we fuse in game, then who controls the fight? Like, who controls it? Like, remember,
I'm gonna control the left side, and I'm gonna be shooting a Kamehameha wave, and you're gonna have like a multiple spread beam blast. I don't.
Yeah. That's how a few people say, well, if you fuse with your friend, you know, one person can control and the other person can watch. Well, that's obviously not going to happen because remember, Bandai Namco did say that they're going to give the player as much control as possible, and that obviously would take away control. So that's obviously not going to happen. And what Thundershot also just said is it's too complicated. Like being able to fuse two characters that were created like that is just, it's a very complex thing. And from someone who worked in the tech world, it's almost impossible to build this functionality. So,
but were you speaking of just a second ago the fusion that we saw like in the Budokai games where you could have like Tien and Yamcha fuse or Hercule and Krillin or whatever? Are you speaking of that?
We could get that, but I was just referring to custom characters because people
definitely.
always ask, "Yo, what if can our custom characters fuse?" Blah 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 blah. No, I don't think they're going to fuse. But in terms of like how fusion is going to work, I honestly don't know because this is a question that you brought up the last time we did a video together. Where it's like, how will Frieza, not Frieza, but how would like Cell's transformation work? Like how like, does he like pop in and like absorb 18, 17? Like how are some of those transformations going to work and how a fusion is going to work? That's actually a question that I have for myself. Off topic, completely off topic and random. I know, but
yeah, it's weird. Too much to get into. Too much for one video.
That's a whole different other video. Okay, but do you have any last words or anything?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, I'm good too. So let us know in the comments, both my video and Thunder's video, how important this huge character roster is to you. Would you get the game if it has 120 versus 65? Well, obviously everyone wants the most characters, but would that make or break for you if the game was 65 characters versus 120? Let us know in the comments why, and we'll just take it from there. And yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming out today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're on my channel, Rhymestyle's channel is in the description and vice versa. So I am Thundershot and we are Rhymestyle's here.
Yeah. Don't forget to punch that like button right in the face just because pretend it's Frieza and stuff in both mine and Thundershot's video. And we'll just take it from there. We'll see all you awesome people in the comment section below. Peace.